Hello fellow modelers, welcome back. Here I am from Next Build, and this is the fourth and last of the 148 scale military models vehicles that I reviewed and I'm going to build next. So this is the Russian T-34 76 tank by Hobbyboss. Already did the unboxing, show you what's inside the box. I already started the project and I will show you where I'm at now. Alright, so here we are with all the various pieces. I did a lot of these sub-assemblies for the lower hull, and that's where I'm starting off at, and I'm going to continue then with the upper hull and then the turret. So I'm going to show you around some of these sub-assemblies and just the easier ones, which are just like the seats and the radiators here. Now overall the fit and finish so far, it's good, decent. It's not great. I mean, it's not to me a quality in any way. But it's not too bad. You know, you have a little bit of flash here and there, and one also thing you do have a lot of ejection pin marks, which is all these white circles that you see in some of the various parts here, and a little bit of flash here and there that needs some cleanup. So in that sense, it's not to me a quality. Although the parts do fit well, and there's quite a decent amount of details in the parts. Like, for example, here in the engine that you can see, and the fan, and transmission there. You can see I got them all here on these sticks with some poster tack ready for painting. And here's the upper and lower hull. And you can see it here in the, so my intention is to have this not glued in so I can just lift this up and see the inside. So there's a lot of ejection pin marks inside, which you see all those little white marks again. And I had to fill those in. And here's the inside, which I start putting the pieces together here for the engine compartment. And I will once I do all the priming and painting, I'll put the engine in and so forth. And here for the springs here, also a little bit of the injection marks there, so you can see. And then you have the wheel arms, which go in that circle, in that hole, and there's a little hole hook there in the suspension spring. As such, that's how they all go. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish all these parts and I'll start doing the painting and I'll be back with that. All right, thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back. Here on the lower hull. As you see, I did a lot of the primary painting here, just to give you a little quick look. Did the rear there, more of a primer color. Did the interior of the cabin, white. This is the bulkhead, not glued yet. Just going to show you how that looks painted up. The inside of the upper hull as well, the white crew compartment and everything else, primer. And just to show you a few little pieces a little before after, so I painted this primer. I did a little bit of, been using a little bit of the Tamiya panel line wash, both the black and brown, just to bring up some of the highlights here of the springs. Focus, there you go. And then I did a little bit of light brushing with metallic color over that. So this is the before with just painting on it, and then with the panel wash and the dry brushing on it. Okay, and over here I see some storage boxes here for the ammo. Again, you got the before and focus, the before and after, again with some dry brushing, metallic colors, a little bit of a wash. So it gives a little bit of metallic worn look to it versus just the plain old black. Same thing with these other boxes that go in the engine compartment. Here are the radiators. Again, before, after. A little bit of a focus here. The panel wash, as you can see. And again, this is a mixture of the black and brown to me, a panel wash. And I also did some of these, painted up the little black boxes, instrument boxes there. And here for the engine, see I painted up the engine. I was looking at some pictures online. It seemed like these heads were painted in kind of a reddish color, and then you had the filter up here painted kind of a blackish color. Again, I know it probably looks very stark right now, but once you put on the weathering, it'll tone it all down. And speaking of the weathering, over here in the transmission, just to show you, sorry, focus. This is before, just painted the metallic color, and then over here on the other side where I started to wash, hopefully you can pick up and see the difference in color and tone, picking up the details. Alright, so the before and the after. And also the seats, which I painted up. And some, again, metallic light brushing here on this one versus the one which is just painted at the moment. Anyway, so let me continue with this, the lower hull, and I'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. Here I am with the interior almost completed. Almost. I say almost because there's little pieces here that need to be touched up a little bit. But let me give you a look. This is what it looks like after being assembled here in the engine. As you can see, a lot of the insides down there, you really can't barely see even with a light shining through it, but it gives you the effect. Let's see, what you see here, the rust of the exhaust here pipes, that was the paint, used some burnt umber, and while it was still wet, I put on some pigments, specifically this Vallejo rust pigments on it, and let it dry. And then here on the insides for the shells, see the gold and the blue and the tip there. The gold is just a little bit hand painted of this Mr. Metal Color gold. And then you see a little bit of a blue for that stripe. And let's see what else. Got the seats in place, got all the levers in place. Got the tanks there. And the other little boxes here and there, all weathering already there, and some dry brushing as well. Still got some pieces to touch up here because my goal is to have this, the top removable, so you can see the whole interior. I'll show you why in a moment. So there's some holes there that I'm going to have to, that I filled in, sand it off, and touch up. Same thing on that side. Now, why I want to remove it is because once you have this on, which is the way it's made to be, you can see that you really don't see too much in here at all. Remember, you're going to have the turret here. You can take it off, but see, that's about all you see in there. And the engine with all the panels off, that's how much of it you see. And if you have the back panel here, once that's attached, if you were to leave just that one little hole, that's all you see of the engine. So after going through all that trouble of building up the insides, I want to be able to see the insides of this. Anyway, so let me touch these up, and then I'll put on the pieces for the top and be right back. Right, thank you. Hello and welcome back. Alright, so here we are with the little T-34, did a little touch-up paints there that I needed to, and also a little filling, filled up the little gap that was there in the bottom and sanded down a little bit. I put some little paint over the edges there just to see how bad the seam was, but once I cover this up with mud and stuff, you won't see it. And here's the completed upper with almost all the parts on, all the handles, all the rear. Which the fit was so back here. This was a little warped, so I need a little bit of filler and stuff to close it up, the gap, which is why you see paint there, just so that I can see how bad the gap was after I filled it in. Same thing on the sides of the fuel tanks here, and then on the flip side, installed the gun, the forward gun, the hatch, the little instrument panel, the spare magazines for the gun. Hatch is unglued. I'll leave. This will be posed open at the end, but for painting, I'll be closing it down. And I also did, while I was waiting for that to dry, I also worked on and did the turret. So here you can see half of the turret with the turret ring attached, and here's the other half. Oops, the enclosing half. And you can see there's a little bit of a ejection marks, but once this is closed up, you're not going to see it, especially once you have the gun in place. A little bit of weathering there on the gun as well, as you can see, a little chipping, a little dry brushing and so forth. And then you have the top of the turret. Again, I'm going to pose the hatch open, and here's what's on the bottom of that. Anyway, so now I'm just going to assemble everything as far as the turret is concerned, put that together, so ready for painting. Same thing with this. The way I'm going to be painting this, I'll just use some tacky stuff and attach that to the top, put some foam or paper, whatever, and seal up that gap and start painting. So I'll be back with that. Thank you. Hello, welcome back. So here I am. I did the base coating on the model, and I put on a clear coat of Future on it to prepare for the next stage. Would be both the decals on the hull and the weathering. So this is just basic Russian green from Vallejo that I used for the main body here. And for the spare tracks, this is just Vallejo. This is black metal that I use for the spare tracks. Anyway, so just to give you a little tour how it looks like here when it's all painted up. The wheels are just pushed in. They're not glued on yet. So that's what it looks like. Anyway, so I'm gonna let that dry overnight, and then I'll continue working on it. I also did start on the tracks, and I'm finding these to be incredibly fiddly. Putting these on, even using these little templates that they use. There's a lot of pin marks, flash. I don't know. To be honest, they kind of suck. Anyway, so I'll continue working these off camera. Anyway, so I'll be back next week or the week after with the next update. All right, thank you much for watching.